Welcome, everybody, to Barcourts Podcast. This is episode 3. I am Alex Slade. This is Bartholomew J. Hunter. I'm assuming the J stands for like jelly beans or...
It would if it was a J, but it's a P.
Okay.
It's a P.
Bartholomew P. Hunter. So, and then we have DJ Joel
Joel Sex.
Joel Frexy. So yeah, episode 3. Here we are. We all have our own individual microphones now. We're changing some shit up here.
that's sick.
We're still, it's a work in progress. So
Coming soon.
we've taken a couple weeks off because I have had a horrific injury.
Yeah, that's
But we're
crazy.
back and we're here. And yeah, so kind of the goal of this podcast, I think, is to get some people on, like we mentioned before. So I think next time we record, we're gonna bring a special guest to be named later.
Figure it out.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, who knows?
It's Selena Gomez.
Yeah, it might be. I don't want to
Episode 4.
I don't want to name drop, but
Yeah.
they're, it's definitely gonna be Selena Gomez for sure.
Good friends with Dua Lipa here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
What was that person, that all-top one? It's like that third episode was with Drake. It was just like...
Oh, actually.
Yeah.
That didn't age well.
Hey,
No.
shoot for the stars, boys. Okay, one day we're gonna have some real people that aren't just our friends on this podcast.
You guys are real people to me.
Hey, yeah, I appreciate that, man.
Speak
I
for
appreciate
yourself.
that. I didn't mean to say that you guys aren't real people.
Yes.
Yeah. So, let's talk about. I remember a while ago you mentioning to me that I'm curious about, and I want to know a little bit more about it. Is because we covered your musical career and some of it, anyways. You also had a little bit of an acting career too, right?
Yes, sir.
So let's talk about that. Why don't you tell us about that a little bit? I'm very interested to know about Mr. Famous Actor Joel here.
Started in... Yeah, I was kind of like a weird kid in, like, I'd say grade 10. I started in English class. And I don't know why, it was just like... You know when all 3 schools kind of came together in high school? It was like,
combined.
oh yeah, so maybe, it was grade 10. And anyways, just trying to find an identity, didn't really have one. And then I remember it was weird. This English teacher put on Romeo and Juliet, and it was the one with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, that live action one.
Yeah, I love it, but I didn't understand a thing they were saying, but I could feel what they were saying, and I was like, it just kind of like hit me somehow, and I was like obsessed with it. I was like, this.
Wait, that's the movie that got you into that
It
stuff?
just spoke to me in a way.
was a
It was
banger
so
movie,
weird,
man.
I loved it. Yeah, so I went home,
with
like
you. That was a
kept
great
streaming it,
movie.
and I was like, why? I didn't understand like acting, like someone making you feel, and I was like, why? What? I don't understand their words. How is this like affecting me? You know what I mean? So it kind of got my brain going towards acting, but not acting in general. I just thought, wow, that was really cool. And then it was the strangest thing. I had injured myself in a skiing accident, and I couldn't walk for a week. I like broke my back. It was really bad. So I could not walk at all, and I was like bedridden on the couch. Mom was just streaming movies, making me soup every day, just making sure I was good. And we were watching Transformers, and I just said out of the blue, it was the Shia LaBeouf, and I thought he was an amazing actor too. And I was like, you know what? I always wanted
Holes.
to... Yeah,
I
right?
was just gonna say, wait, he was in Romeo and Juliet, but you're talking.
Yeah, it's just the spark of it, and then just watching Shia LaBeouf, I was kind of like enthralled, and I said to my mom, I was like, you know what? I always wanted to be in films, like something about them, just making people convey. And she looks at me, she's like, what? Because I was in carpentry school at the time, and she was like, or no, I was not in carpentry school. I was doing carpentry with my father. So that was my side job.
You went to carpentry school too?
But I did go to carpentry school, yeah.
Okay.
And that's when I actually started taking acting serious. That was like 2 years later. But so I was still in high school, but I know, sorry guys, I'm losing train of thought here.
All good. Ramble.
Yeah, I'm rambling.
Ramble on.
Yeah, so anyways, I say I want to be in film. My mom goes and tells a friend. This is so weird. This is a strange thing. She tells a friend at work what I told her. She's like, you know what? Joel told me he wanted to be in films. And she goes, actually, my son's in films. He does background acting. So she comes home and she's like, you'll never guess what. I told him, I told a friend at work what you had said. And she found it so interesting because her son does it. And this is how you do it. You actually just sign up on this website and you can be background acting in films. I was like, what? Just like that? And she's like, yeah, it's pretty simple apparently. So I signed up for this thing called like Faces for Films. I think that was what it's called, or it was before Facebook, but it was weird. It was like Faces for Films or Film
Like
Facebook.
this is like a MySpace thing?
Kind of, yeah. It was strange. And
what
anyways,
year would this have been roughly? Like 2007, 6, 7?
what? Man, I would have been 1920. Like, so I don't know. Like, I'm 35 now.
I like how long it took you to realize that. It's somewhere in my 30s. I don't know. At a certain point,
I was saying this to
I'm
Brant
with it,
earlier.
dude. At a certain point, it stops mattering.
It does.
Honestly, once I got past 35, I started forgetting how old I was too.
Well, I was saying to Brant this year, I was pretending I'm 36 because it was like such a daunting age. I'm turning 36 this year, so I've been saying all year I'm
into it.
36.
Yeah.
So then I actually realized this year I'm not 36. I'm 35, turning 36.
Yeah.
So I'm just in my head. I'm like, how old am I again? So however many years that is, bad with maths. I'll say a number and it will be wrong. But yeah, it was right before I was going into university or college, which would have been carpentry school.
Early-ish 2000s.
Yeah. Let's see. I just know the only date I remember is 2012, and that's when I started music. That's when
I'm
I
38,
jumped
or turning 38 in June. I
So-
started high school 2001.
It would have been 2007, 2008 because I graduated in 2007.
Okay.
So I started doing background in the last year, so grade 12. So, okay, I guess the spark started in grade 10. Skiing injury must have been grade 11, 12. Did some background acting because then I went into carpentry school, and halfway through carpentry school, I started really getting into film.
Okay.
That's when I started going like for serious auditions and stuff like that.
And now you're doing this all in Halifax, obviously? Or
Yeah,
were you,
yeah.
Flying anywhere for it? Or?
No. When I finished carpentry school, I actually realized I was loving film, and I moved to Vancouver for a year and went to film school.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I just loved. I didn't know I had a really good streak as a non-union actor. And
Vancouver Film School is fucking no joke.
It wasn't.
either,
it wasn't
man.
that one. I wish it was
wasn't?
that one. No, it wasn't
I was
that one.
gonna say, that's
it was
no
like a
joke,
knockoff.
man.
No,
Oh, okay.
That's
Still.
that's the real deal.
Yeah.
School. No, for sure. I went to a different one. It was like Shoreline something. A friend of mine was going
Okay,
to the
yeah,
same
yeah.
school, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going out. You should come to the same school. You can be my roommate." So me, Melissa, went up and lived with her. Her name was Holly, and she's still acting today in Halifax. She's doing all kinds of shows. She's killing it.
Cool.
But yeah, so that was kind of like the moment. It was in high school, like right after my mom had told her friend got me signed up. Within a week, I was doing background acting, and I was on a film set with Hilary Swank, and I
Damn.
was like right across from her too. And I guess like,
Is she hot or not?
hey, you
The
know it.
the
She was
Office
actually
episode?
dope because I was it was so funny. They dressed me up as like an old school photographer guy, but everyone on the set was like actually 40, 50. But I was a kid dressed as a 40, 50-year-old. So everyone's kind of like laughing at me like, hey, how'd this guy get it wrapped in with all these people of their own age? So Hilary Swank said something, I guess, to someone about me. She whispered and pointed. And I guess it was like, hey, he looks cute in his like, you know, man outfit when it was like all oversized and too big. I definitely didn't belong on that film set, but somehow they were just like, hey, we got a role for you. So that was my first like experience on a film set and seeing how like big actors were treated and stuff.
And what movie was that or show?
Amelia Earhart. She was playing Amelia, I believe.
Okay.
The airplane lady.
I know
Yeah.
who the airplane is. I can
Well,
honestly say I have
seen-
never heard of that movie.
No, yeah, I know. Way back in the day.
So you have a speaking role in it, or you're just an extra?
Just
or
an
like
extra.
yeah.
And then I'm just trying to remember it's so funny. I was just thinking yesterday about I seen my old acting agents at the restaurant, and I was like, man, it's been a while since I actually thought about film. Like I haven't, you know, processed like, yeah, I was doing that before music. Like
Yeah.
that was a big part of my life. But yeah, it was an interesting like way that I got there. I think I did enough background in Halifax, and I was seeing how the big actors were being treated. I made a lot of background friends, guys who were doing it for like 20 years. Like there's a lot of seasoned people who are doing background. They live it, they breathe it. And I was like, how do you get on the camera? Like we're always just the guys behind the scenes doing nothing. Like how do we actually get on? Like you got to take lessons. You need an agent. And so the agents I was talking about yesterday, I started looking for agents, and they were putting on an acting class. And I went to the acting class, and they were kind of scouting through the acting class. So at the end of it, I guess me and like 3 other people impressed the agents, and they were like, hey, we'd like to sign you up. And I was like, oh yeah, like of course. And within a week, they'd sent me to my first audition, and I got the audition. But it was at the same time I met John Dunsworth, who was
Oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Leahy?
yeah, Leahy. What a phenomenal dude. He they were friends. They were kind of like business partners. So when they sent me for the audition, it was at like the Faces for Films like headquarters. It was you know, down by Sobeys, down in Halifax near the waterfront. Do you guys know that one?
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, it's a small little hole in the wall. It was like you could fit 6 people in an audition room, like small
you mean
AF. Like
Fenwick Street.
it might be. It's right off Tobin. It's the one that like if you're going straight down, maybe it's Brunswick. Can you just stay on it or? But no one here will know where these
Not
locations are.
Superstore.
Sobeys.
Right?
Sobeys. Maybe it's just maybe the Superstore.
Superstore's on Barrington, right?
That's
by
it.
The
That's
train
it.
Station.
That exactly it. The train
Superstore.
station.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so it was this like a nervous little place of 6 people. Like imagine you're auditioning and everyone's in this close quarters to your like competition. It's scary stuff. But I had
I'm gonna
just
fucking eat you for breakfast. Whoa. Whoa, dude.
dude, the competition can get hot. Like I did auditions in Vancouver.
People are just trying to get you shook before you go in.
Oh, bro, you
Like, dude, you look like shit today.
Is that a new pimple?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
Did
it could be
did
savage
you
like
mean
that.
to have diarrhea before you came in here? Or?
That's not a real bathroom, man. That's just a set.
That's no, actual
You just
savage.
shit in a fake toilet, dude. Everybody knows.
Bro, it's like that in like big cities, like Vancouver. When I was coming out of auditions, like parents would just be pulling up in like a Mercedes, dropping their kid off. Like I just bust across town.
Rich man's game.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, met Leahy. John was phenomenal. Actually, I was early to my audition. We ran lines. He was like, "Hey, why don't we run the audition before you actually have to do it?" Ran the audition. Ended up getting it. So that was my first speaking role on this little thing. It was like I was a credit card clerk.
Oh, nice.
Hey, yeah.
What was the line?
It was, "I'm sorry, sir, your card is declined."
How many shots did it take?
It was probably
This was in Trailer Park Boys.
No, this was just he happened to own this part of the film company. He happened to be in the office on the day.
okay,
It was
okay,
just
okay.
crazy chance. And he invited me to a class he was putting on the next week, which was awesome. I got to meet him, and then we just kind of hit it off. Like, dude took me under his wing. He actually, I was going for a bigger audition in the city, and he was like, I asked him, "Could you help me?" He's like, "Hey, come out to the yacht club. I'm gonna be hanging there all day. We can run some lines." And I went over, hung at the yacht club with him. We just ran lines. Amazing. He was like my mentor in the game. Dude was
That's sick.
phenomenal. Oh, it was amazing. No, I've never really told anyone about this. It was like super incredible, dude.
Well, the whole world knows about him now.
No.
Everyone knows. I served Cyrus once.
Did you actually?
Yeah.
Cool dude.
He's exactly Cyrus from Trailer Park.
No way,
Boys.
really?
Yeah.
Just
He was
so
nice
cool.
enough, I guess, but he was very I knew who he was because I'm a big fan of Trailer Park Boys, but he's not like. First of all, he's like a fucking side character on that show.
Yeah.
So unless you're like a diehard Trailer Park Boys fan, like a lot of
Yeah,
people
you
don't really
wouldn't
know who
recognize-
he is.
Yeah.
So, but he kind of just like thought he was like a big deal, and like literally, I didn't say anything to him because I'm serving him, and obviously it'd be weird. But I knew who he was, and then he was like going to pay the bill, and he literally looked up and he's like, "Do you know who I am?"
Ew.
Yeah, and I was like,
Ew.
"Yeah, well, yes."
Was it an Uma? Was he being or was he like, yo, like
Anyone who says
you're
that
cool.
is
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Picture Cyrus from Trailer Park Boys. It was like, aside from him wearing a leather jacket, he
Yeah.
was exactly like, he's like, you know who I am?
Was he doing it to like flex on you or like, hey man, like,
Yeah,
the
he was with
service
some,
was great.
He was with
Is-
some
is it-
no, he was with some chick. So he's like, you know who I am?
Oh,
I'm
that's kind of
like,
cringy.
Yeah, I know who you are.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's lame. That's kind of lame.
That's cringe.
Yeah. Cyrus is listening right now, like, fuck that
Yeah,
guy.
fuck that guy. Sorry, Cyrus. Sorry, you're so cool.
That is hilarious though,
Yeah.
man. I would make my skin crawl just be like, okay.
Yeah.
As
I
he
don't even
goes.
remember what his like real name is. I forget, but
No, dude, that's so funny.
hilarious.
Don't remember.
Don't.
Well,
bro.
the funniest thing is if I wasn't a fan of Trailer Park Boys and I didn't
you
know
wouldn't
who he was,
know.
did you know who I am? Nope. Well, see ya. More water or
yeah.
like nope, I don't know.
Can I
who
grab
you
your
are.
bill, actually,
Yeah.
sir? You've been here quite a while.
I remember when they were filming The Mist in Halifax, the Stephen King show or whatever. There was a bunch of actors that were coming in and eating at the restaurant I was working
Oh.
at. They were ones that you wouldn't recognize though, unless like you were pretty like
Yeah.
keen on it,
Dude.
Like people like John Hurd was one of them, who is most famously the dad in Home Alone 1 and 2.
Oh, no way.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have
so-
no idea who that is.
Yeah,
Now
exactly.
I know
But
exactly what you're talking about.
you know, that's pretty
All
recognizable.
right, they were right across the. I was in The Mist.
You were in it, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Isaiah Whitlock Jr.
Great guy.
The late
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah, he did.
What an
die.
awesome dude, though. You were at chorus at the time?
Yeah.
That's still awesome, though.
Yeah. So I got to meet a bunch of people from that. And
Yeah.
there was some other older lady from Orange is the New Black. I
Oh.
don't remember her name. You know who I mean, though.
I know who you're talking about, and I
Oh,
met.
like the main person or
She is
blonde girl,
Her
whoever her name
character.
is?
She was a crazy person.
not the chick from that '70s show, right?
No.
Yeah,
I don't think
yeah,
so.
she was
no.
in that
I
as
don't know
well.
what her name was.
Yeah, there was quite a few people. Pocahontas, the voice actor for Pocahontas was on there, or voice actress, sorry.
It was on Orange
Oh,
and
yeah?
the Black.
No, it was on The Mist.
Oh.
Now that's
Yeah.
someone you would never recognize.
Yeah.
I know it. This is what I mean. Is like just
Hi, I'm the voice actor who played Pocahontas.
In 1994.
star-studded
Yeah.
cast.
Okay.
Just like yeah,
Okay, I was like 8.
yeah.
Cool. Can I have your autograph? I guess.
Cool. You know John Smith?
He's my husband.
No,
Not really though.
Cool.
you're like yeah.
It's really
Got a
cool.
few,
So
that's
what
all.
else have you been in? Is just a couple those couple things or
No,
What
no.
was the other Stephen King one? You were in that one too,
Yeah,
right?
So long story short, went to film school in Vancouver after carpentry. Did a year at like severe acting, like it was like torturous acting. Like you learn about yourself. It's deep, and then came
guys
home.
just doing Shakespeare?
No man, it was like
I'm picturing like Jim Carrey, like method acting, where you're just like the character. You
dude.
have to be them.
It was the craziest. I can't even explain it because you weren't acting. It was just like finding ways to channel emotion yourself. It was like psychology. It was like, hey, you've had these traumatic experiences. We're gonna channel them.
Oh yeah,
into
you told
these
me
characters.
about
Yes,
that.
I
Yeah,
know.
They like pull at your like history.
Yeah,
and shit.
it was crazy. It
Yeah.
worked though. It made you like
It's got to be real, man.
no, really, it was authentic shit. So did that?
I get that though. Like,
I
how many
appreciated
movies have
it.
you watched that they're just like, oh, this person is a really bad actor?
Yeah,
it takes you out of the movie.
Honestly, I would even say like going
Yeah.
into like before film school, I'd watch something. If I'd done, I'd be like, oh my god, I'm fucking horrible. Like, how am I getting cast?
It's like, hey, I killed your cat this morning, and action. like,
just
oh no,
blind
what?
line.
Remember your alcoholic father?
Yeah.
Action.
Yeah.
Action. Oh no, Dad.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh god.
yeah, but
The basement.
no, don't remind me
I
of the
don't want to go
basement.
down there.
Yeah. As soon as I came home, I got I had a like historic streak. It was crazy. I got cast in the Eastlink commercial. I did Mr. D 2 episodes. I did Bag of Bones.
really?
Yep.
I love that.
You
show.
had lines in that too, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I've definitely watched you on that before I knew you then because I've seen that whole show.
Yeah, I was in
I gotta give
the
it a rewatch now.
I was in the dance episode where they're like bringing other girls to their dance, and then I was in the Quiz Cup where they do the quiz. I don't know if you remember that one.
No.
No. Okay.
I'm gonna rewatch the whole show. Now.
Well,
Gots
we're gonna
to.
find
We gotta,
out.
got to
Find
support
them.
the homie.
We're gonna
Yeah.
find out. And then
Make a Joel compilation.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I got Trailer Park Boys and Haven. I think that was the one we
You
were
were in
talking
Trailer
about,
Park
Haven.
Boys as well?
Yes, I finally got that was the last like one of the last things I got, and I got a scene with John Dunsworth, and it was like the biggest universal handshake. So I'm like, here's the guy who started me.
What-
we got a fucking episode
Do you know what
together.
season or like
11.
what was going? Okay, what was going on?
It was
what,
the golf one. I got it on my phone.
golf one.
It was an episode where they were like going to a golf court, and I think Ricky finds out like he's his dad or something. It was crazy. I don't know.
Oh, so that's like towards the end of the show, kind of.
Yes, and it was right before.
There was
it was
a
like
girl I worked with that was on Trailer Park Boys as well too.
Who's that?
there was quite
I
a
won't
few.
say names just
Right,
because
right.
Cool.
you know.
That was the episode. That's like those guys. I'm at the golf course. It wasn't. I'm behind the counter,
Oh, that's him there. Yeah.
That's so funny.
but that was just a quick scene. It was
We'll put the picture in the thing. Boop, there it is.
No video though. Copyright.
I think I have. Yeah, oh yeah, it would be,
legal.
wouldn't it? Yeah, it would
Probably
be copyright.
HBO.
Yeah.
we could put a little fucking pop up thing on there.
But yeah, I did a. ton
And I
of
think
stuff
we're
in.
allowed to play 14 seconds of video before anything.
Oh, is it?
gets
I think
tagged.
legally
That's
you're
cool.
allowed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it depends on where you're uploading. Like YouTube has their own.
But I don't think we need to do that. Just go watch Trailer Park Boys. You know,
Yeah,
it's a great
watch it.
show.
All 11
Actually.
seasons or more or whatever.
Yeah,
Go
and
tune
like
in.
Up
30
until Joel's scene,
37
and then
and
you
then you
stop.
Yeah, I've seen it. I'm done.
As soon as you see that one golf
That's
pro,
the climax.
Yeah,
there,
that's
yeah.
it. All right.
break your television after that.
But that was it. That was the run. That was pretty much it.
cool.
And then
And
the
then-
last thing I did was The Mist. And
What
then
made you stop? You just
I fell in love with music.
Life
And-
got in the way.
well, honestly, what it
COVID
was.
too, though, right?
Well, it was actually before that. It was I don't even remember. It was a big thing. The Liberals killed the tax credit. It was I forget what dude's name was, but we got a huge tax credit here in Halifax. So
Wasn't it the Conservatives, not the Liberals?
it might have. I
Apples
just remember.
and oranges,
Was it her?
but-
Not her. I forget the guy. Steven something. Everyone hated him.
Well, it was the Nova Scotia. Stephen Harper is he was the PM.
Yeah,
like,
but it was
but it was the
Steve
Nova
McCain or
Scotia.
something like that, or something McCain.
Okay.
Yeah, it was the Nova Scotia people running it, Liberals.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And they literally slaughtered like the tax credit here. So for like literally amazing actors here moved to Toronto.
Arts was killed.
It was dead. So
Yeah.
everyone was fighting for the tax credit. And then on the same note, something happened where it was really hard to get in the actors union. Like you had to fight to get your credits. So it was a small pool of like you earn your stripes. But they opened it up to if you finished Dal Theater School, you instantly got into the union. So the pool of actors instantly went from like 500 to like 3,000.
Yeah,
So it was just like,
oversaturated, like crazy.
yeah, and they would just cast based on look half the time. So it's just like, man, you're wasting your time going to auditions. And that's when I was falling in love with music at the same time. So I started then like doing the time of like, okay, 13-page audition took me Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I butchered it on Monday. I'm not getting the part. Or I could have sat down, made a song, and played it. This is when I started DJ too. And so then I was just like, this is not worth the time. And they were saying at the time when I was in the union, a good actor would get 1 in 10 auditions. So then add 2,000 people to the pool. Shit's probably like 1 in 30 auditions if you're lucky. And that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
And then you only get a piece. Like, look, I've done, like fucking 7 to 10 TV shows. And, I'm still here in Halifax. Nothing blows up for you. So one little show is not going to change your life.
Yeah.
So I was like, there's
I
no
remember
point.
not that long ago you had an acting opportunity come up, but you also had you had a DJ gig the same night.
Oh, yeah.
If I'm refreshing your memory there,
Yeah.
you were kind of just like, I can get paid $1,000 and do this acting gig, but
Yeah.
it's going to take me 3 days or whatever.
Yeah.
Versus I can go play this DJ show, make $500,
Yeah.
and call in 3 hours, 4 hours, and
That was it.
Yeah.
It chopped up to time versus money, and it shouldn't. But that's the thing is like it was the chance of the audition. It wasn't like if it's
it's like opportunity.
it was
right?
opportunity
Yeah.
versus like hey guaranteed money, and you're like
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the sad thing about like film is even John Dunsworth told me himself. He's like, if you want to do it and do it right, do it yourself. Start your own stuff. Like start your own podcast, start your own TV show. Because waiting for people to cast you, you were going to be waiting your entire life.
Yeah.
That's same with music
And so-
though. We just like learn to just do everything. It's like don't
Yeah.
wait for a vocalist. Don't try and hit
Well,
up
that's the
mastering
thing with
and
Yeah.
all of this
That's the huge
podcasting, music, acting, all
Yeah.
of it. There's so many people who will fucking run you over to get themselves to be famous, right? So
Oh my god.
Well, it was like the other day you were telling me just about, was it SoundCloud? You got that message or whatever of someone who was like, really love your music. And
Yeah.
you're like, hey, thanks or whatever. And then she's like, so we got this promotion.
Yeah.
Or
Oh,
whatever.
God. I said if I get any one of my DMs now, like
It's
man,
a scam.
it's
every time.
I hate talking to people because you're making me jaded. They're just they come out and they're like, oh, listen to music. I start that conversation. You'll go like
Yeah.
2 pages long, and then they'll be like, so I'm offering this private opportunity for
That's crazy,
7
dude.
people. I'm like, oh my
Every time.
god.
everything's a scam now. I don't even click on like
it's not even a scam. It's
Not a scam,
it's-
but they want your money.
Yeah,
but like
they're like, give me your
Yeah.
money for nothing. Like,
yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but like I always got something by donating time. Like I did my first DJ show for free. I went to my first film gig for free. Like,
Oh, that's how I started getting
Yeah.
gigs back in the
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Playing. I would have other friends playing gigs, and then they'd take a break, and I'd be like, okay, I'm going to get up and play a couple songs. You know what I mean? That's how you showcase
Amazing.
to get gigs at places.
Yeah.
You get up at somebody else's gig when they take a break, and you play 4 or 5 songs for free so that people at the bar
Exactly.
can hear you.
yeah, that's why I find it hard to respect people coming in the DMs like, hey, I do this, pay me, and then I'll show you results. I'm like, no.
That's not how that
we
works.
grind around here. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but like we grind around
Yeah,
here. It's
that's
not-
what you got to do, man.
Yeah. So no, that stuff it irks me.
Sadly,
Yeah.
like you never want to give yourself away for free, obviously, too. But like, I
No,
mean,
but you got to start somewhere. Even this, what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
This is costing me money to get this going right now.
yeah.
No, you're right with the program.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Can we
Just $10 more.
No, you want to
film
record in
HD.
1080? That's just going to be another $10 a month. Not even
Yeah.
$10, another $10 a month.
Actually
Oh, cool.
crazy.
Flat rate.
Cool. Like I already
$10,
didn't pay you $300 for access to this friggin' program.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Snakes out here, man.
Yeah, whatever. But you know what?
No.
It's worth it because it makes everything so much easier at the end of the day. Even though we're not even using the program right now.
Well, I mean, I'm looking
Even
at
though
the.
we're not using it at
that's-
all right now, but it makes everything so much
It
easier.
didn't
We're
work out.
not- It
Yeah.
didn't work.
Well,
but-
even the setup that you guys have done from the last time, like Brant's got his mixer hooked up with 3 different vocal channels. Like this is
you know
incredible.
what? I
Within-
could have troubleshoot. They have like a live chat support. I could have gone in that and been like, "Hey, why can't I get these cameras connected to it?"
yeah.
But I didn't want to spend 2 hours fucking.
It's
around.
also like late into the night, so
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, what is it like 12:30 or something like that?
so.
No, but this is it. Like you do it yourself, you get better, you get better, you get
That's
better. Waiting around and talking about it.
It's
You,
an upward slope.
That's
Hey,
what I
we
like
have
about
3
you with this.
microphones this time, so we're
Some
just
mics sound better than others.
And we
Forget
got our
that.
friend.
We got friggin'
We got
radio
ET
commercial
over
man
Yeah.
somewhere in the middle,
Yeah.
and then
Yours is the
I sound like
balancing act because
Tizzy.
you
We're
touch yours
like
wrong.
Wizard
We're
of Oz.
already like on our way up the ladder here. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yours is attached to the table.
Oh,
Okay,
nice.
this is a like crappy USB mic. I returned the other mic I had and got this USB mic, which I have yet to try, so I don't really know if it's great. But I bought it because it was $60 for the whole setup, and it came with the boom arm.
Oh, that's
And
sick.
a boom
That's
arm
a good
alone
boom
is
arm,
like
too.
It
$100.
is nice.
Oh, it
Yeah.
is. Mine
Attached
was
to
in
boom-
20.
Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, sweet. So $60 for the mic and the thing, and I was like, okay, well, I'll just plug a regular mic into it. So
Oh, that's
Plug
sick.
in and play.
Plug and play, baby.
plug and play.
Yeah, to answer your question around, that was my film experience.
That's cool, man.
And yeah,
That's really cool.
sorry
Okay, let's talk
ramble,
about Brant and his career in skateboarding and his child's career, future career.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
skateboarding.
I have no career.
not
Well,
true.
No, I don't. Well,
You have a career of
As
being
a-
a dad
as
of
a
a pro
parent.
skateboarder. So that's really cool. So let's talk about that a little bit.
yeah. What do you want to know?
All of it. Let's pretend I don't know anything.
Okay.
I like this.
Fair enough. So I have 3 kids, and one summer, to be specific, just last summer actually, my middle child, who is not the pro skateboarder, but my middle child, she said, I want to do skateboarding. It looks cool. And so we all buy skate decks and hit up the parks and stuff. And it turns out my 8-year-old, who's the younger daughter, friggin' really gravitated to it, and she is doing very, very good with that. Yeah. To the point where she actually just got her first. Can I say this? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I can. She just got sponsored a couple months back, so she's getting free decks and
Just from a local skate shop, or is it?
yeah, they're called Partner Skateboards. The owner's name is Aiden, I believe, and
Are they like a Halifax company?
yeah, they're
or-
local. Yeah,
Cool.
and they have a couple skaters on the roster, I think, and Evie is their newest one. So
That's awesome.
That's incredible.
yeah. So she's gonna be. We won't have to pay for boards anymore, hopefully.
Yeah.
And,
Wow,
Yeah.
that's huge.
And
dude.
this all kind of spiraled from posting videos of her learning to kickflip and
oh
stuff
yeah,
like
so I
that,
should go
and-
back. She did have a video. We started. We had a deal with her. We said if you land your first kickflip, you get to have an Instagram account. That we run it, parent run
Yeah.
account, but still we'll post
Yeah.
your stuff to
That's cool.
Instagram. So her first video was her landing that first kickflip,
Mhm.
and it's in her kitchen upstairs, and. She cries after she lands the kickflip, and she says, "I'm so proud of myself for something like that." And then she goes, 2 to make it true, fighting through
Yeah.
tears. And then she lands her second kickflip in the same video, and it went really viral. And a lot of famous people commented
The
on
first video this guy posts on his Instagram goes viral. Just like,
Insane.
hey, Instagram, boom. And
Yeah.
this is how the internet
Yeah.
works. You're famous.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
wait, what?
it. Yeah,
That's so cool.
so it hit millions of views. And
I came across it through completely separate channels
Yeah, it just
unrelated
comes
to
up
Brant
in your
because I
feed,
follow
right?
so much
Oh, no
skateboarding
way.
stuff.
Didn't you say Tony Hawk? Like
Ryan
something crazy?
Scheckler was the first
So,
person to repost it,
Scheckler
right?
Really?
reposted it, yeah,
Wow.
and SLS, which is like
Yeah, and I
the,
think that's where I saw it first was Ryan Scheckler's Instagram page, and I literally was like, "Brand, is this your kid?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually?
he's like, "Yeah."
And,
No way.
You know
Yeah.
Barracks too, right?
Yeah.
Barracks reposted it too,
Yeah.
but
Or maybe
yes,
that's where I saw it.
Barracks.
Yeah, maybe that's where I saw it. 'cause
But
I don't
Scheckler
follow
did. He
Scheckler,
was one of
but-
the first, and then everyone was commenting because Tony Hawk didn't notice it or do anything. So everyone's like tagging Tony Hawk in the video, and finally he liked it or whatever. But
That's so
but yeah,
sick.
like some of the crazy celebrities were like SZA liked it, for example.
No way.
It was like fire. Like
Yeah.
I'm
Yo.
jealous. I think Blink-182's guitarist like
Did the Olympic
liked it.
skateboarding, women's skateboarding, contacted you too, right? And asked if they could
So
use
the
video in
actual
Olympics?
the actual Olympics messaged us and was like, hey, we want to just use this as like a promotional clip. Or I don't think they ever did, but
That's still cool.
but of course we were like,
yeah,
go ahead. Yeah.
absolutely. That's
Wow.
so cool, man.
Yeah, so she's killing it, and she's kind of working right now on like.
Well, I've seen the progression of landing the first kickflip to like what was it, a rock to fakie on a mini ramp.
I think
that
her
saw
most,
her do, or
her
something
most
like that?
impressive flat ground trick right now is she's nollie flip. I think she's going
That's sick.
Yeah,
she's going switch and then nollie and then
Yeah.
it's a kick flip
Yeah.
and then so she's also kick flipping into a rock also like in the
Okay.
half pipe, right? So
Yeah.
you picture if you don't know, you're coming up, the half pipe. You do a kick flip into the coping and then land on it and then come back
and then
down again.
roll back.
Oh,
in.
that's
Yeah,
sick.
yeah, and then you're coming back out.
Coming
Can you tell us
backwards.
about that which you built in the house?
Yeah, so
That's so cool. I've
Yeah,
ne-
this
I don't
guy's
think.
got a mini ramp in his
Yeah,
house.
like it's insane.
and
it's
there's
just right over there.
just over
Yeah.
it's
off
very
camera.
cool.
Yeah, tell me about it.
There's a
I'm
really
curious about that.
really good local guy who's been a good mentor, and he does skate lessons out of Halifax here, and he builds ramps as well. So he obviously we just know him, and we were like, hey, we kind of want our daughter to practice more. And he's like, yeah, we'll build a half pipe in your basement, kind of a thing.
Wild.
So, I mean, the price was right. It was only like a couple grand, I think. And
That's so incredible.
Dude, that's so sick.
yeah.
Do you find that helped get your daughter up to that power?
Oh,
Was she already
yeah.
good before that, or how?
I mean, skateboarding has many facets. Obviously, there is they call it transition. So if you're doing ramps, it's like transition skating. There's vert, which is the really big,
Which are
like you're
big,
dropping
Oh,
in.
yeah.
Tony Hawk,
And
big
Yep.
half pipes.
Yeah, like Tony Hawk
Yep.
was vert, and then flat ground where you're just doing your flip tricks on flat ground,
Okay.
basically.
Freestyle,
So-
Rodney Mullen style.
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
So, half pipe helps with transition skating, and she improved with that really quickly, I think. And
That's so sick.
just doing, it started with do your rock to fake where you come up, you land your board.
Is she doing rails yet at all, or
She can do a board slide on a rail. Yeah,
that's sick?
Yeah, just a quick little one off the end of it.
Downslope or flat bars?
Flat bar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but still, that's
Downslope
awesome.
would be easier, I think, for her, but it's very terrifying.
Well, that's
so.
the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Being easier is one thing. When you're going down a
Yeah.
staircase or something,
Yeah.
like,
Exactly.
it's a further fall if you don't make it. So
Yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, so she's been doing really good.
That's
a
dope.
buddy of
Super
mine
proud of her.
in Ontario who's like an incredible skateboarder, and when we used to live together back in the day, and he used to always go to the skate park down the road from our house, and he did a kickflip down a set or something. I forget what he did at all. It was something rail or whatever, but he went down an 8 set.
Wow. So that's 8 stairs.
That's huge.
yeah.
Yeah, it landed sideways and tore his ACL.
Oh no, you don't come back.
Oh,
from
dude.
those.
Well, he
Oh,
actually
man.
did, but
Yeah.
he was in a walking cast for like a year before he could get surgery, and then he was in a full cast for like another 6 months after he had surgery, and then he had to wear a leg brace for like 3 years.
Did he
But-
skate ever after that?
Like instantly. As
Really?
Soon as he got his,
I'd be
this
so
guy,
scared,
this
man.
guy
Skaters
was
are
like,
passionate about it.
yeah.
Though.
This guy was like, he's first of all very good. Used to be like sponsored by local skate shops and shit like that when we were in high school, and like he was like just nuts about it. So it's all he ever did was like eat, sleep, and breathe skateboarding. He was just like, I'm not letting this ruin my skateboarding
Yeah.
career.
Wow.
Yeah, fear
It
is
was like a
huge
gnarly,
part of it.
gnarly injury. But he drove a standard car, and none of us were with him. He just went out. We lived together. We were all at my house chilling. And I just remember we were sitting downstairs in my basement, music on, playing guitar, whatever we were doing. The door was like upstairs to come in. This was a basement apartment. And we just hear the door open. And we just hear like, we're like,
no.
what is that noise?
No.
And we look up, and my buddy's just laying there. He's like, I need somebody to take me to the hospital.
Oh.
I
That's
broke my leg.
insane.
And it's like, how did you get here? He's like, I drove from the skate park with a busted leg. A
Holy.
standard car.
Oh,
So he's
So
like
he's clutching.
popping
Yeah.
the clutch
Oh,
and
my
fucking torn
goodness.
ACL.
that's crazy.
It was wild, bro. So yeah, we took him to the hospital, and they're like, yeah, torn ACL, blah, blah, put him in a cast. And I was like, how did you drive here? I was
You know,
like,
it's-
also, the funny thing is, the skate park, I'm not even exaggerating, across the street from the hospital.
Come on, really?
Yeah, I was like, why wouldn't you just go right to the hospital? Why would you come home?
He needs his homies, man.
Why didn't you just drive yourself across the road to the hospital? That's so stupid.
Yeah, but injuries are like, I just started skateboarding with them. Just like I didn't do it my whole life. I just picked it up, like in the last year or whatever, and just to do something to do with them, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm at the point where if I got hurt, I'm not passionate enough to be like, I got to do that again. You know what I mean?
Right.
That'd be the end for me.
That's why I stopped snowboarding, man.
Yeah.
I snowboarded a ton in high school. I was like so into it. I wouldn't say I was good by any means, but I loved it. My friends and I was always build ramps and stuff down hills and, whatever. I broke my tailbone one year, and then the next season busted my ankle, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. It's just
Yeah.
like,
No, I'm
it's
with you
not
there.
fun, man.
No.
Breaking my tailbone snowboarding was like one of the most painful things.
Ugh.
My friends and I were just like not even at a ski hill. We were just like on some random hill in my hometown, and we were just going down. We had a jump at the bottom. We were just hitting the jump and doing stupid like method grabs and crap off the jump. And there was like, it was in a subdivision, so that off to the side of the hill there was like a gas pipe like sticking out of the ground, but it was
What?
buried under snow.
Okay.
And it was just a pipe sticking out of the ground, maybe this high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the front of my board hit the pipe, and I did like a full like front flip because I front of my board hit
Yeah.
it and landed right on the pipe with my fucking
Come
ass
on.
cheek. Like,
Are you serious?
Right on it.
What
And
are the chances of that?
Shattered my tailbone. It was. I couldn't walk. I literally, the only way to get home, I had to stand on my snowboard, and my buddy, luckily it was uphill where my buddy's house was, stood on my snowboard, and my buddy pushed me all the way up the hill to his house, and I had to call my dad to like come pick me up, take me to the hospital.
That's the same injury
Yeah.
that happened to me when I was telling you how I got injured at snowboarding or skiing.
Yeah.
I went off a thing and landed on my tailbone. I couldn't walk, and
It's
I
the
had to stand
worst,
on one
bro.
foot, and someone had to push me to the car.
Yeah.
So I know the pain.
It is like
Horrific.
insane pain.
Yeah, I couldn't walk for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How long did it take you before you could move again?
Yeah, at least 2 weeks, and I had to carry a pillow around with me everywhere and like sit on a pillow.
Yeah.
You couldn't even sit down.
Horrific.
It was horrible. I was in like grade 10 or something like that. And then yeah, even my ankle, like I mean, I didn't really like break it. It just was like a very slight fracture, just like a crack in it. So I didn't really even need like a full cast or anything. But even that didn't hurt as bad as my tailbone. Tailbone was horrific,
That's
dude.
nasty.
I think that's honestly part of the reason why even still because it was on the side that I broke it. So I'm like, oh, maybe that was related to my horrific injury that I'm just getting over right now.
Like, it could actually, yeah, very
It's
likely
all
be.
spirals from all that. And also, I think it was a combination of a couple things because I've also torn my hamstring twice as well playing baseball.
Oof.
And that's originally what I thought this injury was. I don't know if you guys remember, but in the summer, I was when I actually first hurt myself. I came to work and I had this whole exact same limp thing in the middle of the summer.
I don't remember
It
that.
didn't last long, did it?
No, it was only a couple weeks. It was like when I was rebuilding my deck. So what I think actually happened was I was lifting like a 6x6. I went to Home Depot to pick up wood to build my deck, and I lifted a 6x6 into the back of my dad's van to bring it home, and it was like 10-foot long. So it was like 200 and some odd pounds. This big piece of wood, right?
Damn.
And I just fucking I gotta get in the van myself, so I just fucking
Yeah.
fucking He-Manned it into the back of the car and like definitely like pulled
Twisted something on the way.
twist something, I don't know what. But a couple days later, I was just like was fucked. I couldn't even walk, and actually then it was for the first week. Then was worse than it was this whole time. It lasted longer this time, but like I was having spasms in my leg, and like I couldn't like I was just getting shooting pains at my body. But I was just like, oh, it's just a torn hamstring. So I just ignored it because like, I was like, I've torn my hamstring twice playing baseball. So I know like the only thing to do for a hamstring injury is just to work it out and
Really?
exercise and stretch. And like, there's nothing you can do other than just work it out.
Ouch.
So I was like, okay, this is that. So I just ignored it. Hamstring injury, whatever. And it was really fucking bad. But I was like, okay, I powered through. And then it started to get better and it just kind of went away. And I was like, all right, cool. No big deal. And then this was like, what, probably 2 months ago now? At work one night. I don't know what I did or what happened. I was just fine. And then all of a sudden at work, I just like my whole left side of my body just like shut down.
That's
And I like couldn't
crazy.
even walk. And I literally had to.
during work?
Yeah, I was at work.
Oh, I didn't know having that work.
Yeah. And I had to, and I don't even know what I did. It just like happened. And I literally had to go to the manager and be like, you know, I have to go home. Like I can't, I had
Yeah.
tables and everything.
Yeah.
And I was
What?
just like, I have
Seriously?
to leave.
I didn't know
yeah.
it was like that.
Yeah, and I
Oh.
just had to. I was like, finished off my tables and just clocked out and left, and then I went directly to the emergency room because I was like couldn't even move, bro. Like it was crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, I got back to the valley and I went to the emergency room and sat in the waiting room for like 1.5 million hours because the healthcare
God.
in Nova Scotia is an absolute joke.
Yeah. Horrific.
And then I finally saw a doctor, and they were like, "Oh, it sounds like you like have a slip disc or something in your back. Like, we'll give you let's go get an X-ray and this, that, and the other, and an MRI. But it sounds like this is what it is."
yeah.
So right there, and I went in there being like, my leg is fucked, my hip and my leg are fucked. Like I don't know what's going on, and they were like, "Oh, it's probably just pinched sciatic nerve, like." Because you have a slip disc in your back. So instantly right there, now all of the like medical care I was receiving was like, oh, this guy has a fucked up back. But it's like not once did I say my back hurt. I was
Yeah.
coming here with a hurt
Yeah.
leg and a hurt hip.
Yeah.
But somehow the focus shifted to that. And so they started testing all this stuff on my back. And then it was like in and out of the hospital for like a week. And it was like, oh, yeah, no, your back's okay. Like I had an MRI. And they're like, yeah, we're not really seeing anything on your back. Like
Oh.
you probably have like a slip disc. The one doctor told me, he's like, you have a slip disc, but it's on your like very bottom vertebrae on your back. And it's so small that an MRI can't see it.
Okay.
And he's like, that's pinching your sciatic nerve. And that's what it is. And I was like, okay, shit.
Was he right?
No. So like a week later,
No.
I was still just like dead, and now my back doesn't hurt at all. I'm this like throbbing pain in my hip and leg. Like my hip keeps seizing up, and I could feel like a popping when I move it, and it was just like, son, this is not my back. Like I don't know what the fuck
Yeah.
they're talking about. So I went back to the hospital again with this same like, I don't know what's going. Or sorry, so I'll backtrack a little here. So it's before going to the emergency room, because I don't have a family doctor in Nova Scotia. It's all online virtual care.
That's crazy.
Yikes.
So I went and saw an online doctor and was like, this is what's happening. And that doctor was like, oh, you have a blood clot in your leg. You need to go to the emergency room
That's
right now.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Wait,
What a
was it actually that?
misdiagnosis.
No. No.
Holy
Man,
smokes.
No.
what is this health?
Yeah,
what a joke!
exactly. It wasn't that. But she's like, oh my God, this is the blood clot in your leg. Like, that's why your leg keeps going numb and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you need to the emergency room right now. I'm like, okay, shit. So I go to the emergency
So
room.
terrifying.
Yeah. So now I go to the emergency room and be like, oh, cool. I'm going to die.
Yeah. Or lose your. I had a carpentry teacher who lost his leg from. He just one day they were like blood clot in his leg.
Yeah,
lost
dude.
his leg, came back to school the
joke.
next day.
Blood clot in your leg can
then
also give
died
you a
the next
stroke,
day after.
yeah.
Oh my god! Straight up.
Yeah. Blood clots in your leg are no joke. So I was like,
Straight up.
oh my God.
Yeah. So I see
So-
why you'd be freaking out.
So I go to the hospital and I
Crazy.
now
Crazy.
now I go into the emergency room being like, hey, I just got sent here from an online doctor being like, I have a blood clot. I don't know what this is, but this is what I'm being told and why I'm here. So then now they're like, oh shit, and they fast track me right through. I'm in there for maybe 2 hours instead of 10, which is good. As
I mean,
horrible as it was.
Insane, but yeah, probably get you in a room. quick.
So then they're like, okay, so they come in and they, one doctor comes up to me and he's like, I'm looking at your MRI results here. He's like, I don't know what all of these doctors have been telling you. He's like, you don't have a slip disc in your back. He's like, I can see your MRI. He's like, your spine is fine. He's like, we ran blood tests. He's like, you don't have a blood clot. And he's like explaining everything to me. And he looks at me and he goes, you have something called bursitis in your hip. And he's like, I'm sure that's what it is. And now he's like,
Bursitis.
now he's like very matter of fact with me. He's
Yeah.
like, because I can see he's like pretty like not mad at me, but he's like pissed off that I've been
All
misdiagnosed
the
like 5
misdiagnosis.
times.
Well,
Yeah.
you know,
like
it's-
what the fuck are these people telling you, and
That's
why are
scary.
you coming in here with a blood? That's not what this is. So he's like, you have a pinched sciatic nerve in your leg, but it's caused by something called bursitis, which is, I guess, you have these like where your femur meets your hip. You have these like fluid sacs that protect the bones from like rubbing together, I guess. And those
They're
are
like
all like
inflamed or something?
inflamed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're pushing against all the muscles that connect my hip to my femur.
and he saw this. Like
So
no
it's
one
like a
else caught
form
it.
of like tendonitis almost.
Okay.
Bonitis.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And he's basically just like, the only thing to do for this is basically treat it like a hamstring injury. And that's why I got better before, because I treated it like a hamstring injury.
Oh.
Just did leg stretches and stuff.
Actually?
Yeah.
That's crazy that you went through so many people.
And
then
he's
this
just
guy,
like,
that's
this
scary.
is what this is. And he's like, we've actually caught this at an early enough stage now that we can get ahead of this. And he's like, but we're at a crossroads right now. And he was like, very matter of fact. He's like, you've got 2 ways to go right now. He's like, you can change your workout regimen entirely, base it solely on like hip strengthening and like glutes and legs and nothing else. He's like, keep the strain off your back and everything. And he's like, or in 6 months, this is going to be 10 times worth and you likely won't be walking. And he was just like, basically like the ball's in your court, however you want to deal with this.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was like no treatments per se.
Just
Well,
like yo,
no, they wanted to give me like a bunch of opioids and like heavy prescriptions, and I refused it all because I'm just like, I don't want any of that shit.
But there wasn't like an actual like
So they gave me some-
physio kind of.
Well, they recommended physio, but again, Nova Scotia healthcare is a joke, and
It
I
would
don't know
take
if you
too
know
long.
this. No, physio
Yeah.
is so expensive unless you have a
Oh,
health plan, dude.
yeah.
It's like $200 a session.
Yeah. Oh
Like,
yeah,
it's crazy,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
wow.
It's so
Rob you.
expensive. Yeah. So I said that to the doctor flat out. I was like, I won't go to physio. I can't afford it, man. I'm
No.
not paying that much for that. I was like, maybe I'll go to one. But literally, he's like, honestly, he's like, just go on YouTube. He's like, find some videos. There's a million videos online from physiotherapists about exercises, how to treat exactly this. He's like, so if you don't want to pay for physio, all of the information is online for
That's
free.
wild.
That's
Yeah.
I mean,
he's
that's
like,
kind of
just
cool though.
be consistent with a workout regimen. So I was like, okay. So I went home and fucking watched 1,000 different YouTube videos about old lady fucking hip injuries, which is what this is literally an injury most common in like elderly women.
Wow.
Which I think is hilarious.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I've just been literally like, I bought a fucking like cheapy exercise bike on Amazon, and I'm doing 10K every morning on that.
Amazing.
And doing like 100 squats, and then
Wow.
hiking with my dog for 2 hours.
Sick.
And I started doing that every day consistent, and literally within like 2 weeks, just like boom, it was just like better.
Really?
I'm still like not 100% better. Like it's still sore, but I'm not walking around limping anymore. I have full range of motion again. Like
You
I
can, like,
run
work
and
again and
move and
stuff.
run.
That's
and, yeah.
crazy. You know, it's so funny because you see this doctor and he's like, you change this now. And everyone else is like, hey, you're good.
Yeah.
We'll let you go off and
Every other doctor I saw was like, "Oh, it's this one thing. Just eat all these pills and like just rest." I'm like, "No, no, I don't want to do that."
that brings me, like, it reminds me, I just seen a thing that kind of blew my mind. There was a kid who seen like 18 doctors or something like that. And he got diagnosed by ChatGPT. And ChatGPT figured out what it was, where
Yeah.
doctors couldn't.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like a little, like, I don't know, it was like, I want to say a tumor in his spine or something. It was like, you probably have this. And it
Dude,
was that.
Even this doctor who was like, "Oh, it's definitely hip bursitis." He literally was like, "I don't care what any other doctor says. This is what it is." My first instinct was going to be like, "Well, can we do some tests then?" Because
Yeah.
I haven't gotten one test that says that. You haven't examined my leg to see if those things are inflamed. You
He just
guess
looked
it.
at old charts and said,
No, he's like, "This is what it isn't," so I know this is what it is.
Or
And I
did
was
he
like,
go
"Okay,
by
well,
like
that's
what you were saying then? You're
what
like,
by what I was saying, what he was what my symptoms were, and then okay, we've run an MRI on your back, we've done blood work, so we've ruled out all these other 5 possibilities." He's like, "So it has to be this."
that's kind of
And
crazy.
part of me was like, "Can we test it to see?
yeah.
Can we get another MRI maybe on my leg this time?" But I was just so fed up with like 2 weeks in and out of the hospital and like
Just a
10-hour
waste of
waits at
time,
the
yeah.
emergency room. I was just like, cool. So they gave me some anti-inflammatories and some other pills and to stop the nerve damage in my leg.
Cool.
And basically just like, because my foot like was numb. It's like, you know when you like your foot falls asleep?
Yuck.
I had that feeling in my foot for like
Oh,
2 months.
Worst feeling.
That would be horrific. I'd be
Forever.
freaking out.
Yeah.
About if that was like,
Yeah.
I'd be tripping.
That was like my biggest thing. I was like, pain is one thing. I was like, but now it hurts so much, I'm losing feeling.
Ugh.
So I was like, now, okay,
That would
now
scare
I'm
me.
getting a little
Something
worried.
I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
I would be like, I'd be in the hospital,
Yeah.
like, fix this.
Something that I can't unthink of now is I heard somebody describe like your foot asleep as TV static. Like it's
Yeah.
a
Oh,
TV
yeah, yeah.
static
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah,
and
it
it's
is.
like, yeah.
Dude, I had that literally feeling in my foot for like 2 months. It was
F that.
horrible. It was
Yeah.
horrible.
That's messed
And
up.
even now, I'm better, but I still have like, it just basically feels like, you know when your muscles get like really tight and you're like, oh fuck, I need like a massage, or like,
Yeah.
basically my whole like hamstring in my back of my leg is just like tight. It's like a fucking fit. Like I feel like I just need to fucking just
yeah, just get in there and
Yeah.
loosen it up. Pull that chicken.
yeah.
So where are you right now with everything?
I mean, I could get up and move. Like getting up in the morning, still my back is like I'm like an old man. Like it takes me like 20 minutes to get my back straightened out and like moving
Damn.
around and like leg and stuff like that.
Is
But-
that the hardest part? Just like kind of getting up.
Yeah, I mean, sitting down in a chair and like watching TV for a half an hour and then like standing after that is like, oh man, I'm fucking stiff. So I can't really like sit
Right.
down for long periods of time right now. But like getting up and working, once I get to work and I start moving around, it's like I
Better.
don't even notice it.
Yeah,
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of cured yourself. They
Kinda,
told you what
yeah.
it was, but you went out and did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean also, and it's just like I can't. You know, I was off work for like almost a month.
That must,
You know,
that's
working
hard
like a
too,
day
dude.
here and a day there, and then be like, okay, I tried, and you know, luckily everybody at work was like so good about it. Like I was just like, I don't know what to do, and they were just like, you know, I can't work today, and they were like, okay, no problem. Like it was all like,
That's so
they-
chill.
Yeah, they were super good about it, which was great. But it was just like on the flip side, it's like I have a mortgage, so it's like I can't be
Yeah.
off work for a month.
Yeah, that's
you know,
the
I
thing,
have
right.
I have financial
I know.
commitments.
It's
so-
crazy how you can't be abundant. It's like
Yeah.
you miss like 2 weeks of work and you're cooked.
Yeah,
Like,
and everybody's
everything
like,
will
"Oh my
catch up
god,
to
you need to just take some time like off and get better." I was like, I literally just like, "Are you going to pay my bills for me?" Because that's not a thing.
Yeah. No.
You can't just take time off work. Oh, we'll go on EI. I'm like, EI is like 50% of your wages if you're lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's like,
it
it's
doesn't
not going to
last
cover my
forever.
mortgage. Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
and
every week they're like, "Did you get a job? Did you get a job yet?"
Are you healed?
Are you back?
good? Are
Yeah.
you good? Can we stop giving you money now?
Yeah.
Okay, well, no. Okay,
Oh yeah,
well,
you
have
don't
to pay it all
do
back
like
in your
the
taxes.
weekly quiz or
Yeah.
something. Not quiz, but you know, where it's like,
Yeah.
did you fill out some, some
job application.
some job applications this
exactly,
week?
right?
Yeah.
It's like, yo, I still got my job. I'm just injured, man.
Yeah. How's that resume looking? Yeah. By the way,
Like, I'm good.
you got a cover page?
But yeah, no, it just got to a point where I just like
Not a cover page.
I just was like, I can't let this like fuck things up for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
you
just
fought through it.
I was
Yeah.
just like, I don't even care anymore.
That's
Like,
good. You're
I'm
looking
just
great,
getting
dude.
better,
Like, you're back to work. Running, like,
Yeah,
look like
seem
you were normal.
back,
Like, it's
yeah.
awesome.
You're a
That's
little
right.
slower still. but-
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like once I'm up and moving and going, it's like,
Yeah.
but it's now it's stopping. once I stop work, like after work, once I get in
Like
the car and
now?
get home.
How
Right now,
now?
I'm not so bad, but like once we're done here and I stand up and walk away, I'll take me a minute to like straighten my back out. Like
Help
once I
me
get
up
home.
the stairs.
Yeah.
Can someone grab my cane?
Well, dude, it's actually funny because it's like as painful as it is. It's
Yeah.
like God, I'm like 100 years old. Like I feel like I'm like 100 some days
It's crazy
now.
that this happened to you because I always see your videos of you and Arlo running around. Like
Yeah.
you and your dog, man. It's not like you are some guy who sits at your computer. Like I sit at my computer more than you do. You're
Dude,
more
and that
active
was
than
the
me.
funny thing
Yeah.
too, is that when the doctor was like, "Oh, it's this is bursitis, blah blah blah." It's like muscle because I had like muscle deterioration and stuff too. And he basically was like talking to me, like, you know, you could do the exercise, and it was just like, dude, I exercise every day. I was like, what are you talking about? I do all the things you're telling me
Yeah.
to do is like my daily routine. I go
Yeah.
for like hour-long hikes up fucking mountains with my dog every day.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
Probably just
what?
pegged you as like your typical like millennial Zoomer, where it's like, so how long did you doom scroll today?
Well,
Yeah.
dude, honestly, I probably was like so much pain. I probably smoked like 20 joints before I went to the fucking
Or
hospital.
that.
Just like,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
like, this guy's just a stoner and
Yeah.
eats
That's
chips
fair.
all day, right?
Yeah.
And how many times I went to the hospital? The worst part of it, trying to get care, was I would go to the hospital and be like, "Oh, I'm in so much pain," and every single person looked at me like, "This guy just wants some pills."
That's
Really?
what I think. I heard. That's
I mean,
what they
I
think.
fit the profile. I'm covered in fucking tattoos. I look like all the fucking people that are in there, like looking for pills,
Someone
right?
just told me a story about this. The same
So
thing.
I literally had to go in there being like, you know, start out, okay, I'm hurt, and I'm going to start this out by saying I don't want any pain medication
Yeah.
at all. I am not interested in opioids. I don't barely even take aspirin. I was like, what I want is to know what the hell is wrong with me and how to fix it.
Yeah.
I don't want pills. And then as soon as I would say that, then they would be like, okay, let's try to figure out what's wrong with you. But until I like actively was like, I want no pills.
Yeah.
They were like this. Yeah, well, you're probably fine. It's just whatever. Right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I would just get brushed off by like everybody.
I wonder how many people in the city actually are just like drug addicts using.
Oh, dude, so
must be
many.
crazy.
It's an epidemic. That's where 90% of them come from, are people getting prescriptions and then selling them on the street, right?
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, that's the.
I
you know,
just this is like second story hearing about this of like people being accused of just wanting drugs.
dude, it's an epidemic. That's why
Okay.
the opioid crisis is what it is.
How do I get them horse tranks?
Yeah, dude,
The ketamine.
Yo,
and it's crazy because
give me
like
that ketamine.
it fucks up the people who are injured and really do need those pills.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I don't want to take them anyways because they're super addictive, and I would rather be in pain than
course.
be addicted to OxyContin.
yeah,
right?
100%.
But
100%.
it was just the whole scenario was a fucking nightmare, and it just got to a point where it's just like, you know what, I'm done being injured. I don't care. I'm just gonna power through it and fuck it.
Yeah.
And I just started hiking with my dog again, even though it was like excruciating trying to get up hills and like, you know, again, just started doing 10K on an exercise bike every day, and it was like so painful for the first 2 weeks, but I was just like
You did
fight
it.
through it, and it's just only gonna get better. And
Hell yeah.
in 2 weeks, I started noticing like a very fast like uptick in my health, and I was just like, okay, cool. This is the new routine every day.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That is good. That's like a good routine to have anyway, even if you're not like
Well, that's it. I mean,
recovering.
you need to exercise anyways,
Yeah.
but it's just like I mean, and I was going to the gym every day after work before I hurt myself in the summer. And
Oh,
then
were
I,
you?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I hurt myself and I stopped going to the gym because I didn't want to fucking because again, I thought it was a hamstring injury originally, so I didn't want to like fuck it up by going to the gym and like
Yeah,
re-tearing
for
it. So I
sure.
stopped going, and then I was like all fucked up for months, and I was just like, okay. And then now I've started this new routine, and I ended up buying a bunch of gym equipment and have like a little mini home gym at home now. And
Oh,
it's
nice.
just like
That's
Yeah.
sick.
it's so much more convenient too, having my own shit at home than having to go somewhere.
Oh, that's like 15, 20 minutes down the drain, just getting ready,
Yeah.
going, and then driving home.
Well, I also went to the one
Burn.
across from work, so I would drive in from the valley and then go to work, either go to the gym either before or after work.
Nice.
But like, if I'm just home on my day off, I'm not gonna drive all the way in the city just go to the gym, right?
No.
So I was like, I found I was always finding excuses not to go.
I think that's
Right
the thing.
now, I have everything at home, like in my office, like I have my computer in my office set up on one
Perfect.
side and a like little mini home gym on the other side, and it's just like I have no excuse now.
I think I see why like successful people build gyms in their house for that reason. No,
Well, it's
time,
also
just-
cheaper in the long
go.
run too, right? You're paying a monthly fee for the gym, or like, and I wouldn't say any of my work equipment is high quality, but that's all cheapy Amazon stuff. But it's like $200 a fucking thing. Like my exercise bike was $200. It works great,
Oh yeah,
right? I have a like some weightlifting machines and random other things as well too, like sit up benches and stuff, and they're all like $100, $200 each.
Well, it's funny you
just
say
like
that
the
because,
$1,000 you put into having a little crappy home gym, or you can spend $30 a month on a membership.
Well, that's
it pays
the
for
thing.
itself in like a couple months.
And they keep going up. I just got a notification like Fit for Less. They're like, your prices are going up soon.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, how much? We're gonna be at.
That's where you're going to the one in Bedford.
I have the Black Pass, so I go Bedford or Dartmouth.
Okay,
But yeah,
I was going to the one in Bedford.
it's a nice spot. But yeah,
I don't mind that gym at all, to be honest with you. People
great.
hate on Fit for Less, but it's actually pretty decent.
Oh, bangs! It's job done. But the point is, like you just said, the prices are going up so much that you could say, hey, I'm just gonna buy $200 free weights.
I
That's
downgraded from the black card. I had the black card at first too, but I wasn't really. First of all, the one in Bedford didn't have a black card area.
No, they don't. It's
They
just,
do now. They built it.
Oh, did
like
they?
Yeah, like a couple
I haven't
months
been in
ago.
since.
Yeah, they built it a few months ago, but they didn't have a black card area. So it was
I didn't
kind of
even
like,
like that.
I'm not going to go downtown, and there's only 2 in this whole province. So
Mm-hmm.
why am I paying for this? So I mean, again, it was $13 a month versus or every 2 weeks versus $7 every 2 weeks. But
Yeah.
still, I downgraded to the $7.
I'm gonna downgrade. I forgot I had that stupid black card.
Yeah, I found I didn't
downgrade.
need
Not
any
down,
of the
but-
black card perks. I was like, I don't use any of them. I'm not going to get a weird massage in front of all of these people.
It kills me when I see people get those
tables
massages.
in Bedford
man.
are like in the middle of the room in the gym. They're like just
I
against
know.
the wall. It's like laying here getting a massage is so uncomfortable because people are like walking past you with their bag and you're just laying there on this weird.
Oh, it's
massage
so
table.
weird. It's so
It's
uncozy,
yeah,
man.
It's so weird. I'm never gonna do that here.
Yeah.
It's so awkward.
Never again.
So yeah, I
Never
downgraded to
again.
the $7 one, and then actually like. Once I got hurt, I stopped going, so I realized I was just paying for it still, and I was just like, "Oh fuck this! I'm just gonna cancel it." So I just canceled it and got my own shit, and I'm
Smart.
just like, "Oh god,
You're making
why
me
didn't
wanna
I do
do
this
that.
before?" Dude, honestly, Amazon has got all the shit you need on it.
Oh yeah, my brother's been doing a home gym, and his is like, he's got like 3 pieces of gear now. I'm like, that's all I would need.
Yeah, dude,
Just one of those
just a
like
couple
Bowflex
things.
machines and
Yeah.
loose weights.
So I have, I have a exercise bike. I have like a squat machine that I got for my hip. And then I already have like a sit-up bench, and then I just have a regular workbench that you lift like dumbbells, and it goes in all the different positions. You do 1,000 different workouts on it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's got
Like-
resistance bands and shit on it. It's the
Once you start thinking like that, it's so much better. It's like, okay, I can have, this many sessions at the gym, like financially, or you can take that money and put it towards like one piece of equipment, or like,
Yeah.
with music too. It's like, okay, I could hire a mixer or a mastering engineer for one session, or I could buy the plugins to do it myself
Yes.
and then just learn to do it.
yeah,
So it's
exactly.
Like,
Well,
You
and you don't think about too. The other day, like I was at the gym, dude. It was 1:00 in the morning. The place was packed, and you couldn't get a piece of gear. And then when I started using one, I had this guy come up, and he was literally breathing down my neck
That's
as
the
I'm
other
using
thing
it.
I hate at the gym too. Is
I was
you're
like,
gonna do something and like,
Bro, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're. I actually thought dude was trying to
Yeah.
fight. I'm like, because like, he was so close to me and
stand there
staring.
waiting, like, and now you're just all self-conscious, like,
Well, I looked over.
I don't like that.
And I was like,
Fight.
"You good?" And he was like, "Are you done with that, man?" And I was like,
No.
Well, I just
I'm
finished.
using
I
it,
seen
but-
him, and I was like, I know he's trying to get this piece." So I did my third strike. I was like, "Fuck off, bro!" I was like, "Why are you literally one like 2 hands away from me?" And I just turned my head as I finished, and I was like, "Yo, what's good, man?"
no, imagine you're like cooked, but you know he wants it, so you're like, just 10 more reps. You're like
be a
killing
dick.
yourself just so he doesn't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Just honestly, now that I have
Yeah.
one at home, dude, I don't think I'll ever go back to going to a gym. It's so much better because it's
I can
also
imagine.
just easy to just like, what if you're walking past the room, just like, just pop in for 10 minutes, do fucking 20 reps of this thing, and go back to whatever you're doing.
That's a really good
You don't
point.
have to just do like a fucking 2-hour workout. You can do 10 minutes
No.
here, 10 minutes there.
I only ever
times in
liked
the
doing
day.
45, like
Yeah,
45
dude.
to an hour max.
That's
'cause, like,
that's
in
all
and
I
out.
did at the gym. I would do like maybe 30 minutes doing like weights and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and then I would do like 30 minutes of cardio,
It's great.
and then I would leave.
I think the thing you're talking about, and it's consistency, because like if you can just do 10 minutes, it's better than you doing your 10 minutes a day is better than someone who will go to the gym once a week or once every 2
Well,
weeks.
that's exactly
And
what
that's
it
the
turned
problem.
into.
Yeah.
I would go 3 times a week for an hour.
Yep.
Now I'm every single morning when I get up. First thing I do in the morning, I actually don't even have the exercise bike in my room with all the shit. I have it downstairs in my living room in front of the fucking TV. I get up in the
Oh,
morning,
nice.
have a coffee, smoke a joint, sit on the exercise bike, put on some fucking show on Netflix for 25 minutes, and just fucking rip.
You're making me want to buy gear,
Do
man.
10K, and then I'm just like, okay, cool. Now I go take the dog for a walk.
Give this man a gym
Yeah.
equipment sponsorship because I will buy it right now.
Yeah,
like
dude,
now
I'm
you're making me want.
I'm telling you,
still
I'm
out
telling
there,
you, yeah.
Bowflex?
Sponsor this man so I can
telling you
buy
right
his
now.
gear.
Amazon is the shit, dude. It's crappy $200 gear, but it's all like halfway decent and
That's
it's
cool.
good enough.
So you gotta like put it together like IKEA.
You gotta all
style,
assemble
or
it,
it's
yeah.
like-
It just comes in a box and you gotta assemble it. But
guarantee.
it takes the bike took me 20 minutes to put together.
That's not bad,
Like
then.
it's
I'm sure
not
there's people
bad,
trying
yeah.
to get it out of their house too. Like I remember
Oh,
my
that's
parents
the
were
other thing,
giving
like
away a
Market-
$200
yeah, that's the other thing.
treadmill. They're like, come pick it
If you
up.
look on Marketplace, I mean, to be honest with you, if I wasn't injured and I could have like lifted shit into my car, I probably would have looked for something on Marketplace. But I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, Amazon delivers to my front door.
I like that. Yeah.
I'll take that.
I'm gonna take
Yeah.
that option.
Yeah. So
Dude, that's hilarious.
Marketplace will deliver to your door. You just gotta,
Finagle a little bit.
Yeah, a little
Negotiation.
finesse.
Marketplace is an absolute nightmare, dude. I fucking sold. I had an old bed in my house I wanted to get rid of, and I was like, oh, I'll put it on Marketplace for like $50 because I don't care. It's like I don't want to throw it out, but really,
yeah.
it's easier to like sell that kind of crap than like take it to the dump and try to haul it somewhere like a whole bed.
Get
and
somebody
just
else to
come
come
to my
take
house
it.
and pick it
Yeah,
up and take it away for me, right?
100%.
How many fucking people message me on
So many
Marketplace?
people, right?
It's a first of all, it's a
Yeah.
bed.
Yeah.
Will this fit in the back of my Toyota
Oh my
Corolla?
God.
I love
For
these
sure.
questions.
And all I
man.
respond is like, dude, it's a bed.
What
I don't.
you
e-
think?
What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
It's a bed.
I've seen-
No, it won't fit in the back of your car.
Dude, I've seen viral TikTok
Yeah.
videos on people doing songs about their interactions
Oh
with
my
people.
Oh
on
yeah,
these.
they
Not even kidding.
The,
Oh,
like
good.
dialogue.
Yeah,
of
the
it.
dialogue.
I'm not even kidding you. I will find this some day and show you guys the full conversation. But had somebody message me, be like, I'm interested in the bed, but how comfortable is it? And I was like, I don't know. It's comfortable. It's a bed. It's in pretty good shape. And they're like,
I wish I remember the
then
one
she
you
goes-
sent me. That was hilarious.
Can
I remember the artist.
Do
Do you
you
mi-
actually?
she goes, do you mind if my husband and I
Try it out.
come over and like try it out for the night?
No
I
way.
swear to God.
Actually?
Come
I
on,
swear
bro.
to
I was
God.
kidding.
No, I swear to God. I'll
This
show
is-
you the message.
this is
I thought it
gold.
was. I didn't even think it was real. I was like, no. First, I was like, no, that's terribly
Can
horrifying.
we crash at your
I was
place,
like,
man?
no. I was like, it's a
Would you
$50.
mind leaving, too?
I was like, it's a $50 bed. You can take it or leave it. That is not happening.
Get in a hotel.
Hold on. This gets even better.
I love this.
So I'm like, no, you cannot do that. That is the weirdest thing ever.
Nope.
It's so good.
She then sends me a picture of her husband holding a baby. And she goes,
Okay.
this is my husband, Stacy, and our son, Brockett.
Stacy
Uh,
and
Brock
Brock.
and the gangster
Message,
name.
and she goes, please forgive my husband's feminine name and don't bring it up around him. He's very sensitive.
What?
Okay.
And I was
bro.
like, I'm never gonna speak to him. What are you on? And now I'm just like,
You're getting trolled. Here.
I swear to God, I was like, you're trolling me. Like this isn't real.
Yeah.
It's genius trolling if it is.
It's really good.
That is really good.
No,
like
it
that.
was 100% real. I went on this person's Facebook page. They were
Please
like, it was some
ignore
old
my
lady,
husband's
like,
feminine name.
but send me a picture of
Love
like this
that.
dude like holding a baby. Like this is my husband.
what does
Stacy.
that even-
He's very gentle with our baby Brocketh, and we promise we will take good care if we come over and
what does
whatever
that
she
convince
said.
you of, though? That
Yeah,
they're
and I
not
was-
gonna break your bed or have sex in it or something?
Yeah, I don't know what she was trying to get across me, but I fully was like, "Lady, you're fucking nuts, and this is not happening."
I
I'm
love
sorry.
that people like this exist in society. It's crazy.
Okay, so now, fast forward.
No.
So I sell the bed for $50 or some. Literally, how I work on Marketplace. The first person to message me and be like,
Normal.
I'll, $50. Can I pick it up today? All right, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The most
done.
simple.
Yeah.
I want the bed. Here's money. Okay.
And then do you hold
win.
it for them? Like,
If they're
basically?
normal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to like not have to talk to other people for
Yes.
like an hour or two. Like, yeah, you pick it up today. Or
Oh, yeah, if they're gonna
it's first come,
dilly-dally
first serve, but
dick
like
around or
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah.
But that's who I choose to sell stuff to. So, anyways, I sell the bed to some regular old person. Fast forward like a couple months later, I have another bed in another bedroom that I want to get rid of.
Okay.
Damn.
My
Bed?
my
I bought
my-
my-
I
head
bought my-
in here,
If you
man.
need a bed, we got
Yeah,
Alex.
well, not
Fine.
anymore.
I'll be the
Not
new
anymore.
sponsor.
I've got rid of them all.
Okay.
So I bought my house fully furnished. So I
You're
had
fresh
a
out.
4-bedroom house. I had beds in every room, right?
Okay.
But now I have a music room and I have my office. So I want to get rid of the
Yeah.
beds in those rooms.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I go to sell this bed in exactly the same scenario. I'm like, $50, put it on Marketplace, whatever. I shit you not, the same fucking woman messaged me.
Stacy.
She's like, oh no, sorry. So
Rocket is all grown
let me
up.
just rewind it for 1 second here. So actually, the first time the interaction was, I was like, okay, you're crazy. I'm not giving you the bed. I sold it to somebody else. And then she was like, okay, do you have another bed for sale? And I, at this time, didn't want to sell that bed.
You
so I
actually
was just-
do? You're like, I do actually.
But no, I was like, no, I don't. I was like, this isn't a mattress store. Like, I don't have a bed. And now, fast forward months later, I decided to get rid of the other bed, so I do. So I put it on Marketplace.
I feel like you waited just so that they wouldn't. Like,
Dude, I shit you not. This woman messages me when she sees the ad, and she goes, I thought you said you didn't have any more beds for
Months
sale.
later?
Months later.
Bro.
I was like, what?
No way. What is she
The
just waiting on Marketplace
Dude,
beds?
I don't know.
Ads? Like,
I'll find the thing in my phone and I'll show you
please pop it
guys,
up and
but,
put it
like,
on. Because
yeah.
this is...
I thought
this
you
would be,
said.
Dude.
I,
So, also, I'm in like a group chat with a bunch of my other buddies.
You didn't know more.
The whole
Liar.
time all of this is going down, I'm like posting all of this chat into my group chat with my other buddies, and we're just like dying about this. Man.
I'm dying about this.
Dude, it's like a
so
whole
crazy.
thing. So now, first of all, the funniest thing about it is when she sent me this fucking picture of the guy, and she's like, "Oh, this is my husband Stacy and her son Brock at Blah." And she's like,
Stacy, man.
Please
Did you make it
don't-
your phone
Please
background?
don't make
Please
fun of his
don't.
name. And I literally said to my one buddy, I was like, honestly, I was like, until she brought up his feminine name, Stacy, I was like, I was more held on the fact that their kid's named Brockett. Like, what the fuck?
Wait,
gangsters
is
in
it
the game.
Brockett or
Brockett.
Brockett?
Brockett.
Yeah, BROCKITH.
Brockett.
Yeah, I was like, I was more hung up on that
Yeah.
than Stacy.
I don't
was
know.
like,
I thought
interesting world out
Stacy
there.
right away though.
Yeah,
I was like,
Stacy's
what the
gangster.
fuck?
yeah,
Yeah, dog.
but like if she didn't bring it up, then I probably wouldn't have said anything. First of all, the whole scenario was mind-boggling.
Does his
but-
mom have it going on?
No, I was looking at an old
Probably
lady,
not.
dude.
Probably not.
Dude, it was just like the most horrifying thing, and I was like,
That's
man, I am
amazing.
just so done with Marketplace. Like, it's
Dude,
the
that is
worst.
the funniest story.
Dude,
I was just waiting for you to call you a liar.
I feel like we all have like wild marketplace stories. I don't have too crazy of ones, but I went to sell my VR PS5 one time, and I posted this. And the first guy, he goes, "Does Pornhub work on this?" And I go, "I don't know. I don't. Yeah, just no
No
shit."
shame.
And actually, like terribly enough, we got into a full conversation. He just like went on about how he's like not that guy. He's just lonely sometimes or something.
Bro, don't get the wrong
dude.
impression.
Yeah, like-
I'm not that guy. I'm just
I
asking
know,
in
like,
case, you
I'm
know.
looking
Yeah.
for some 3D VR Pornhub.
I want to
If
be
this-
there, you know.
If this can't do that,
Yeah. So this gets anime girls, right?
should I be
Like-
looking at the
spill
Oculus
that
or should
water
I be
over.
looking?
Anyway,
So funny.
it was
Are
hilarious.
you the right guy? Should I be talking to someone else?
Yeah, should I be going for Sony VR? Or should I be looking more like Microsoft?
Well, I ended up.
Which one gets Pornhub faster?
Well, I ended up googling it because I wanted to help the guy
Yeah, of
and
course.
make the sale.
I make the sale, smart
Right?
man.
So I
Here's
was like,
my-
actually, yeah.
Now your
you
search
can-
history on your computer is, does my PS5 VR get Pornhub?
yeah.
trying to clear history.
Turns out it does. It does. So.
You want to sponsor Brand here, man?
All
He's
Okay, but on the PS5 or do you have to hook it in your
You
computer?
got to download the app
Oh,
And
actually,
then-
Wait, there's a Pornhub app
for yeah, I guess.
for PS5?
I guess so.
What?
I had to sell this odd story tying into this. I had to sell a it was a it's something hamster NFT, porn hamster something something. It was something like it's a big. I guess it's one of the biggest in Canada.
Okay.
And we were in charge of promoting their NFT in groups. Made a little bag off it, but it was so funny. You bought the NFT and you got access to like prime porn. And so I was just watching.
Like
I
a
thought-
membership?
It was something like that. Like if you bought like one of the NFTs, you got like you didn't have to pay the monthly subscription for the site.
Oh,
And it was just hilarious because I was like, "What is going on in the world right now?" Sorry, totally off topic. Continue.
No, that was on topic. Yeah.
I just kind of yeah.
Yeah. No, I made the mistake of putting a bed frame on Marketplace for free.
Yeah.
You know how many fucking messages
Oh,
I got
bro.
for that shit?
That's the
It was
problem.
for a kid's bed, too.
Dude,
so
I
it
would
was
have
like-
given this bed away for free too. I didn't even care about it. I just didn't want. I didn't want to fucking have to haul it to the dump.
Exactly.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
have to carry it down the stairs and out the
Yeah.
front door. It was just like, and I didn't want to deal with all these people on Marketplace being like, oh, free. So I'm like, $50. Somebody can take
No,
it.
that's a
It'll
good
sit
call.
there for a week, and if it doesn't sell, then I'll deal with it.
I heard free goes crazy like that.
It's
Like people will
it's
just
nuts, dude.
flock to you, man.
Yeah.
They do.
And then it becomes a war of like, I will pick it up now.
Yeah, I hate Marketplace. I mean, it's a great tool because I buy like all of my fucking musical gear on it, and I always
Same.
find killer deals.
Yeah.
But you got to weed through all the bullshit. And trying to sell stuff on there is just a nightmare.
Oh, I can imagine. Melissa used to sell a bunch of stuff up. Ever heard stories like this? Just
Yeah.
people will be quick to like jump on you.
Yeah.
Like you put it up 2 minutes later, someone would be literally at your door if you gave your
Oh,
address.
and you get all the people, too, that are like, oh, this ain't worth that. Have you checked eBay and like all this shit? And it's like,
Try to haggle.
buddy,
Don't
I'm
buy
gonna
it,
say
then.
the price that I want, and like if you're not happy, like go away.
Yeah,
Like,
go find it somewhere else.
Yeah, it happens a lot.
Yeah, I can imagine. Now I got to try and sell some stuff.
Right?
Selling a bed for a friend.
Just for some
Brackets,
stories,
Alex.
man. Just
Oh,
to
dude,
live life.
I want to
man.
just
You gotta
live.
Yeah.
I just want to do this now. Just experience it. I just want to be a part of the fam.
Because Houghton starts putting everything he owns on Marketplace.
just to
Just
see.
walking around the house taking pictures
Yeah.
of everything.
Yeah, just
Sell
selling.
that.
Actually, I have a bunch of like tables and chairs in the basement that I'm not using
That's
anymore.
perfect.
It is. It's
Yeah.
perfect bait.
Yeah.
Do you mind if we come over and test those chairs out?
Yeah.
Do you mind if you leave the house?
Especially if they're wicker.
Will you cook us
wicker.
dinner and put it on that table so we can see how well it supports a meal for a family of 4?
That'd be so
Huh?
gangster.
Yeah.
That'd be smart. I'd be like,
Yeah.
you know what? Come on over for dinner, bro. You got me.
Are you gonna have a set menu, or how's this gonna work?
Yeah.
I'd like 3 courses.
Yeah. Do you have liquor
I need to
license?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
I do have a liquor license.
Yeah.
My wife always makes dinner.
And-
I'm gonna need the real experience. We're gonna come over, sit down.
And there's patio seating, right?
That's beautiful. What a
That's
dude! I'm so
funny.
happy you
Yeah,
told me that
Marketplace
story.
is a goddamn nightmare.
Yes.
That is so gold.
Yeah.
Well, I think we should call this episode 3, guys.
That'd be-
Tune in next week for another episode of Bar
Let,
Chords.
let him do it.
Oh, yeah.
Next.
But
Oh,
you should
yeah.
have your guitar and play some bar chords at the same time. It'd be like good and bar chords, and you actually play some bar.
Well, we're gonna have a cool little ditty that goes over it.
we'll,
Starts
we'll write
right
something.
I like. Yeah, you
here.
have to.